What's up everyone? Today I have for you the highest amount of damage that I have ever dealt, and if I am not mistaken I have put it in the thumbnail and it is not clickbait at all. You will be seeing 800 damage pop up in this video. So how we will be doing this? And the answer is actually relatively simple. We are going to be using Monty. Monty is the pet that you get from the Easter egg. You feign the pet with the Easter egg and you get the Monty. And Monty's effect is that it deals double damage all the time. And that sounds pretty cool. At the beginning I was thinking like, oh, this is basically like a cheese that it has, but it's a little bit more than that. It's stackable with cheese, and it's multiplicatively stackable at that. So you get, if you get a 50-50 level 3 Monty, not only will you be quadrupling the damage from the ability, and then the cheese also will be doubling that quadruple damage for 8 times the damage. So you get 400 damage that way, which is already pretty difficult to get. I don't think any other pet in the game is able to dish out that much damage. Maybe like Panther with cheese at level 3 is kind of comparable, but then again I think Monty is even stronger than that. But wait, it's not done. We have yet another doubling to do to get to the 800 damage. And we will be doing that by using the Visitor, which is a tier 4 pet that whenever it faints it gives the exposed debuff or ailment to the enemy as well as yourself. And the ailment does it so that you get to deal double damage twice. So yeah, absolutely insane amounts of damage that you can do in this manner. But I don't think this setup is perfectly complete. I think you can do way more than this. And I will talk about it a little bit later in the video, but first let's get set up. You can see I have put the Easter egg onto the blobfish, which is the best pilling target in the entire pack that I have constructed. Here we also level up, or not level up, but just find naturally double wyvern. And that's going to be super useful because we are looking for a couple of tier 5 units to make our job a little bit easier. For now we are very happy to be preserving so many hearts. If you're curious, this challenge took me like several days of grinding, and a very small percentage of runs made it with this many hearts remaining on turn 7. But yeah, you'll see what I mean here. We are going to level up the wyvern using the blobfish. We are going to freeze the other blobfish that we have in the shop, getting 4 selections I believe out of the wyvern, and indeed the alpaca is one of them, which is going to be super useful when it comes to leveling stuff up. So we have the Monty on the team. We are going to start leveling it up immediately. We're even going to put the alpaca in the team. Very luckily we find yet another Easter egg plus pill combo, so we can get yet another Monty, and this time the alpaca is going to give it some extra XP as well. So yeah, we're going to take the level here, I believe, either that or we're just going to be running them separately. And don't let the stats deceive you, these Montys are very destructive. The 5-4 at the front is dealing double damage, so that means it's dealing 10 damage already. So basically the second highest attack on our team. Unfortunately we do end up losing. This team's kryptonite is 17s, but it's okay because not many people are running them currently. Here we level up into yet another alpaca, so double level 1 alpaca, you already know what that means. We are going to be getting instant level 2s. And I wanted to slot in this clownfish that I had frozen in the shop, but I couldn't really find the space for it. Thankfully it's not going to be required because we have found our way of scaling for now in the level 2 husky. And we level up into yet another good selection. You can see a lot of buy-sellables I have put in the pack. I think that's typical of custom packs. You always put cow, you always put zebra, you always put blue-ringed octopus. In this specific scenario we're going to take the cow because we want the targeted buffs on the Monty. And it's already an 11 attack level 2, so it's going to be dealing 33 damage, and you can see right there it even kills through melon already. Just imagine how powerful it will become at 50-50 level 3 with a cheese. Here I think I'm going to do some fancy play to try to get as many level ups as possible, because we are looking for some way to scale up. And I think this way that I'm going to settle on, if I do it on this turn, I'm going to show you. We do find one of the puzzle pieces. Here's the Quetzalcoatl, which is a method of leveling I use for the Monty because it's considered to be a tier 1. But in this run we managed to get it naturally up to level 3, so we don't have to worry about it. But yeah, I think the best way of scaling for this team is funnily enough Quetzalcoatl plus the team spirit. And I'm not saying that just because it's a new way of scaling, it's actually super efficient. Like, Monkey is a little bit too slow, Husky is going to fall off because you eventually want to have equipment on your team to not lose. We're going to get the instant level 2 Quetzalcoatl, and that levels us up into the team spirit, so absolutely brilliant right here. Hopefully we manage to get yet another chocolate for the level of the team spirit, but unfortunately we do not. We don't even have a level 3 or lower pet that can be leveled up on this turn, which is kind of unfortunate. We're not going to be getting the team spirit buffs if we decide to ignore that, but I think it's going to be worth it. Here you can see me debating a little bit on the crow buy sell, and I end up settling for it. I also take the visitor in the shop right here. Ideally we want to have a scaled up visitor because it's going to be our frontline pet, and unfortunately right now the Monty is our biggest unit, but it is getting up to 21 attack and therefore dealing 84 damage. Unfortunately here we lose because the rest of our team is not scaled up at all, but we are going to start scaling up relatively soon. Selling the level 2 Husky, now we are free to look for some tier 3 or lower pets. And I have some pretty good selections in this pack, like I think Weasel is in this pack. I think we used it earlier on in the run, so we might take another one if the opportunity presents itself. We also have the Bigfoot right here that we find very luckily in the shop, that is going to give us many free rolls. Unfortunately with only level 2 Quetzalcoatl, that's going to mean that we don't get the thingy up to level 3, so that means only one trigger of the team spirit. But for now that's going to be good enough, I hope. It's actually barely not good enough. Like one more HP on the team spirit, and I think that would have been a draw, but whatever the case, we're going to hope for a chocolate for the Bigfoot so that we can end up selling it and take this lucky cat here instead. So yeah, you can see the method of scaling that we're using. I'm cycling a lot of lower tier pets, which is kind of unfortunate because it means that you're losing quite a bit of gold, but thankfully when you get the things up to level 3 they sell for the amount that you bought them for, so it's not too horrible. Here we're going to get the level cat on, and it's going to get to almost level 3. We are ideally interested in getting the Quetzalcoatl to level 3 as well, so we don't have to buy the chocolates ourselves. Very good exposed right here, getting us the draw. A loss there would have been fatal. As you can see, we're only on 1 heart remaining as we find a Weasel in the shop, so that is going to come in next turn or at the end of this turn if we find a chocolate. But yeah, a lot of things still need to be optimized. We still need the cheese on the Monty. You can also see that I am freezing some compatals right here. And you might be thinking, why is he doing that? Well, if you remember earlier on in the video, I said that the run is not fully optimized yet. And that is because you can see right there in the pack I have the... it's not called the Chimera, it's called the Manticore. Yeah, the Manticore is in the pack. And if you don't know what the Manticore does, it multiplies the effects of ailments on the opponents. But you can see right here I am actually passing up Manticores despite them working perfectly well with the exposed, multiplying the damage that the Monty is going to deal that much more. So why am I doing that? My plan is to actually use Compatol on the units that we have already on the team, because we are very scaled up, as we are dealing like 150 damage right here, which is absolutely nuts. But yeah, hoping to find the Manticore using the Fountain of Youth or Compatol, so we don't have to sell the stats away. Like, I've had so many lost runs because the Monty is the only big unit on the team and I don't want a repeat of that. You can see right here we find a fountain of youth in the shop, and if I was a little bit wiser I would have started freezing those because we are getting to the end of the run, so we are going to be switching up our positioning and optimizing for highest damage pretty soon. But for now we are trying to keep winning still, and in the meantime we are getting to enjoy a level 3 4550 with cheese, dealing how much damage is that? 360. Pretty scary opponent right here, by the way, using the Nightcrawler plus the Hydra, but we just barely managed to scrape a win right there. So yeah, hoping to get a little bit more cycling done, or if we're going to use this water of youth right here to shapeshift the Team Spirit or the Quetzalcoatl, that means we're not going to be cycling anymore. Pretty funny actually right here, we get double Quetzalcoatl, but we do get another Completo, so I keep cycling. This time it's a Lioness, which unfortunately is not going to be useful, the team is set up already. I'm even going to be keeping the Lucky Cat, because it's a 2027 that is going to be further scaled up by the Quetzalcoatl. How much damage do we deal this time? 376, not bad. But for the final turn we are going to be optimizing for that 800 damage. So in conclusion, before I send off the video, is this strategy any good? And the answer is of course not, because the pets only have 50 HP, and even with Melon they are getting up to 70 effectively, so you don't need any more than 70 attack, this is just for the meme. Unfortunately here we get a T-Rex instead of the Manticore, otherwise we could have gotten like 2000 damage I think. So if any of you want to try this run, I highly encourage it, and please show off in the comments if you manage to get a higher number than the 800 right here. But for now this is going to be the video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I hope that you like, sub, do all the generic stuff, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.